Only 9 people in that warehouse knew who Bruce Lee was. The capoeira master on the mat didn't. The fight promoter didn't. The Brazilian jiu-jitsu coaches sitting ringside didn't. 200 spectators packed into a Rio de Janeiro warehouse didn't recognize the small Chinese man standing near the back wall. That was about to change. In the next 6 minutes, the most dangerous capoeira fighter in South America would learn the most painful lesson of his career. And everyone in that warehouse would witness something so impossible, so fast, so devastating, that 54 years later, the people who were there still argue about what they actually saw. This is what really happened on November 14, 1971. This is the story nobody filmed. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Zona Norte District. November 14, 1971. Sunday evening, 9:15 p.m. The air inside the converted shipping warehouse on Rua dos Marinheiros is thick with humidity, cigarette smoke, and the sour smell of sweat soaked into concrete. Outside, the temperature is 34 degrees Celsius. Inside, it's worse. No air conditioning. 2 industrial fans bolted to the ceiling push hot air in circles. The warehouse is 80 feet long, 50 feet wide. Concrete floor. Corrugated steel walls. Fluorescent lights hanging from chains cast everything in a harsh, buzzing glow. In the center, a fighting area has been marked with white chalk. 20 feet by 20 feet. No ring, no ropes, no mats, just concrete covered with a thin layer of canvas. Around the chalk lines, 200 spectators are packed shoulder to shoulder, folding chairs in the front rows for important guests, standing room behind them, men mostly, some women, fight fans, martial artists, gamblers, journalists, and a few off-duty police officers who pretend not to see what's happening. This is an underground challenge match, not sanctioned, not legal, not advertised in any newspaper, word of mouth only. You had to know someone who knew someone. The atmosphere is electric. A berimbau plays in the corner. Its single string hums a rhythm that makes the air vibrate. 3 atabaques, traditional drums, pound a heartbeat into the warehouse walls. Someone is selling cachaca from a cooler. Someone else is taking bets. The smell of grilled meat drifts in from the street. This is fight night in Rio, raw, real, and dangerous. And the main event is about to begin. On the canvas, stretching, warming up, moving to the rhythm of the berimbau with a fluidity that doesn't look human, is the favorite. The reason 200 people have paid to be here. The most feared capoeira fighter in Brazil. Rafael a Cobra Mendes, not his birth name. Born Rafael Eduardo Mendes dos Santos in Salvador, Bahia. The birthplace of capoeira, the cradle of the art. Rafael is 31 years old, 6 feet 4 inches tall, 280 pounds of dense, functional muscle built not in a gym but on the streets, in the rota, in back alley fights that started when he was 12 years old. His body is a weapon shaped by 19 years of capoeira, and every inch of it shows. His legs are massive, thighs like tree trunks, calves carved from stone. Capoeira is a kicking art, an acrobatic art, and Rafael's legs can generate power that most fighters cannot comprehend. His meia lua de compasso, the compass half-moon kick, the signature spinning heel kick of capoeira, has been clocked by a university professor in Sao Paulo at generating 1,800 pounds of force per square inch. He broke a heavy bag off its chain with that kick. He shattered a coconut held at head height. He once kicked a man so hard in the ribs that 3 of them broke and 1 punctured a lung. That man spent 4 weeks in a hospital. Rafael's record is terrifying. 62 underground fights, 62 victories, 0 losses, 0 draws. His average fight time is 47 seconds. His shortest fight lasted 8 seconds. A single armada, a spinning back kick, caught a Muay Thai fighter from Bangkok on the temple. The man was unconscious before he hit the ground. 8 seconds. The crowd barely had time to sit down. He has fought karate black belts, judo champions, Muay Thai fighters, boxers, wrestlers, and street fighters. He has fought men who outweighed him. He has fought men who were faster. He has fought men who were more experienced. He beat them all, every single one. His nickname, a Cobra, wasn't given to him by fans. It was given to him by his opponents, because he strikes without warning. Because his legs move like a snake's body, fluid and unpredictable and lethal. Because once he decides the fight is over, it's over. You don't see the finish coming. You just wake up on the floor wondering what happened. But Rafael's greatest weapon isn't his legs. It isn't his speed. It isn't his 280 pounds of muscle. His greatest weapon is his mind, his arrogance, his absolute unshakable belief that capoeira is the supreme fighting art and that no other system can compete with it. This belief isn't quiet confidence. It's loud. It's public. It's confrontational. Rafael has made a career out of challenging other martial arts. He calls it proving capoeira. He travels across Brazil, shows up at dojos, gyms, training halls. He walks in uninvited. He challenges the best fighter in the room, and he beats them. Every time. He films some of these challenges. He talks about them in interviews. He has become famous in the Brazilian martial arts underground not just for winning, but for humiliating. He doesn't just beat his opponents, he toys with them, dances around them, plays the berimbau rhythm with his feet while they swing at empty air. Then he ends it with one devastating kick that leaves them on the ground questioning everything they've ever trained. 3 months before this night, Rafael gave an interview to a Brazilian martial arts magazine. The interviewer asked about Asian martial arts, kung fu, karate, taekwondo. Rafael laughed. Asian martial arts are for movies, for children, for people who like wearing pajamas and bowing to photographs on the wall. Capoeira was born in combat, born in slavery, born in survival. Every technique was created to hurt, to disable, to destroy. Kung Fu was created to look pretty in a garden. He paused. Especially this Bruce Lee everyone talks about, this movie actor. This little Chinese man who plays pretend fighting on camera. Come to Brazil, little dragon. Come to my Rota. I will show you what a real martial art looks like. I will show the world that capoeira destroys kung fu. That interview was translated and reprinted in martial arts publications across 3 continents. It reached Hong Kong. It reached Los Angeles. It reached Bruce Lee. Word reached Bruce through Dan Inosanto, his closest student and training partner. Bruce read the translated interview in his Los Angeles home. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said 5 words. When is he fighting next? The answer came through back channels, through the international martial arts network that connected fighters across borders. Rafael was hosting an open challenge night in Rio de Janeiro. November 14th. Any style, any fighter, any weight class. Rafael would fight whoever showed up. Bruce Lee booked a flight to Brazil. He told almost no one. Linda, his wife, knew. Dan Inosanto knew. Taki Kimura in Seattle knew. That's it. No press, no cameras, no entourage. Just Bruce Lee, a small bag, and a plane ticket to Rio. He arrived in Rio on November 12th, 2 days before the fight. He spent those days quietly, walked the city, ate at small restaurants, visited a capoeira rota in Lapa to study the art up close. He watched for 3 hours, took no notes, just watched, processed, analyzed. He saw the rhythm, the circular movements, the low sweeps and high kicks, the acrobatic entries, the deception. He saw the strengths. He also saw the openings. Sunday evening, November 14th. The warehouse on Rua dos Marinheiros. 9:15 p.m. The crowd is buzzing. Rafael is on the canvas. The berimbau is playing. The drums are pounding. Rafael moves through his ginga, the fundamental swaying movement of capoeira, his massive frame flowing with a grace that contradicts his size. His feet trace patterns on the canvas. His arms swing in rhythm. He looks like a dancer, a very large, very dangerous dancer. The fight promoter, a stocky man named Gilberto Franca, takes a megaphone. "Ladies and gentlemen, tonight a Cobra welcomes all challengers. Any style, any weight. Who dares to enter the Rota? 2 fighters have already been dispatched. A local boxer lasted 35 seconds. A judo black belt from Sao Paulo lasted 22 seconds. A single rastera, a sweeping takedown, followed by a joelhada, a knee strike, and it was over. The crowd is hungry for more. Rafael isn't even breathing hard." "Is there no one else?" Rafael shouts to the crowd. His Portuguese carries over the drums. "No one left? Is this the best Brazil has to offer? I asked for challengers. I asked for warriors. I got amateurs." He scans the crowd. His eyes are predatory, searching, challenging. "I want a real fight. I want someone who believes their art can beat capoeira. I want a kung fu man. I want a karate man. I want someone who will prove to this crowd that Asian martial arts are more than just movies, more than just Bruce Lee playing pretend." The crowd laughs. They love Rafael's showmanship, his confidence, his dominance. Silence follows the laughter. Then a voice, calm, quiet, but it cuts through the noise of the drums and the crowd like a blade through silk. "I'll accept your challenge." The voice comes from the back of the warehouse, near the steel doors, accented Portuguese, simple, direct. Rafael squints. The fluorescent lights make it hard to see past the first few rows. "Who said that?" "I did." The small man near the back wall steps forward. He moves through the crowd. People part for him, not because they recognize him. They don't. They part because there is something about the way he moves. Something precise, something alert, something that suggests this small man is not a spectator. He reaches the edge of the chalk line. Now Rafael can see him clearly, and Rafael almost laughs. The man is small, 5 feet 7 inches, maybe 140 pounds. He's wearing dark pants and a simple white shirt. No uniform, no belt, no indication of rank or style. He looks like he wandered in off the street, like a tourist who got lost in the wrong neighborhood. Rafael towers over him, 9 inches taller, 140 pounds heavier. The visual contrast is absurd. Goliath and David, except David forgot his sling, his stones, and apparently his sense of self-preservation. "You want to fight me?" Rafael asks, grinning. The crowd is already laughing. This is entertainment now, comedy before the real action. "I'm answering your challenge. You asked for a kung fu man." The small man's voice is steady. No fear, no hesitation, no bravado. "A kung fu man?" Rafael's grin widens. "Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted." "What's your name, little dragon?" "Bruce Lee." The name hangs in the air. 9 people in that warehouse go absolutely still. Dan Inosanto isn't here, but a few martial artists who follow the international scene, who have seen the Green Hornet, who have read about this man in magazines, they know. They know exactly who just stepped to the chalk line. One of them, a Japanese-Brazilian karate instructor named Kenji Watanabe, grabs the arm of the man next to him. That's Bruce Lee, the real Bruce Lee, the kung fu master, the man who fights like nothing you've ever seen. The man next to him shakes his head. That little guy? No way. Rafael doesn't recognize the name. He doesn't follow American television. He doesn't read international martial arts magazines. He knows capoeira, and he knows how to hurt people. That's his world. "You're sure about this?" Gilberto, the promoter, approaches Bruce. "This is no exhibition. Rafael fights full contact. People get hurt." "I understand," Bruce says simply. "What style?" "Wing Chun, Jeet Kune Do, my own way." Gilberto looks at Rafael. Rafael shrugs. His eyes are dismissive, contemptuous. He has already decided this will be his easiest fight of the night. A small Chinese man in street clothes, a movie actor. This will prove his point about Asian martial arts perfectly. "No rules?" Gilberto asks both men. No rules, Bruce says. Rafael grins. No rules. Bruce steps onto the canvas, removes his shoes, places them neatly at the edge of the chalk line, rolls up his sleeves. 140 pounds of lean, sculpted muscle. His forearms are corded with visible tendons. His lats flare slightly beneath his shirt. He is small, but he is not soft. Not even close. Rafael sees the physique and his grin fades slightly. Just slightly. This man is in shape. Real shape. Not bodybuilder shape, fighter shape. But the size difference is still absurd. 280 versus 140. Double the weight. 9 inches of height. The math doesn't work for the small man. It can't. They face each other. Center of the chalk square. The berimbau player starts a faster rhythm. The drums intensify. The crowd presses closer. 200 people holding their breath. Rafael drops into his ginga, swaying. Left foot back, right foot forward. Then switching. His massive frame moves with that impossible fluidity. His arms swing in counterbalance. He looks like a cobra swaying before the strike. Hence the name. Bruce stands naturally. Feet shoulder-width apart, weight centered, right hand forward, left hand back. On by stance, a modified Wing Chun guard. It doesn't look like a fighting stance. It looks like a man waiting for a bus. Relaxed, calm, almost casual. The 9 people who know who he is lean forward. They've seen this before, the deceptive stillness, the calm before the hurricane. Gilberto raises his hand, drops it. Begin. Rafael moves first. He always moves first. He drops low, spins, launches a meia lua de compasso, the compass kick. The same kick that generates 1,800 pounds of force, the same kick that broke ribs, shattered coconuts, ended 62 fights. His heel whips around at head height. Fast, devastatingly fast for a man his size. Bruce leans back. 2 inches. Just 2 inches. Rafael's heel passes through the space where Bruce's face was. The crowd gasps. The wind from the kick moves Bruce's hair. 2 inches from ending the fight. 2 inches from proving Rafael right. Rafael recovers, flows back into his ginga. Not surprised. First kicks rarely land. He's testing range, testing reactions, testing this small man's nerve. Bruce hasn't moved his feet. He's in the same spot, same stance, same calm expression. Rafael launches an armada, a spinning back kick aimed at Bruce's midsection. Powerful. 280 pounds of rotation behind it. Bruce steps offline, 3 inches to the left. The kick passes. Bruce's hand rises, touches Rafael's ankle as it passes. Just touches it. Light. A paksao, a slapping deflection. Not blocking. Acknowledging. Saying, I see it. I could have stopped it. I chose not to. Rafael feels the touch. His eyes narrow. This man touched his kick. Nobody touches his kicks. People dodge. People block. People get hit. Nobody touches a kick in flight with that kind of precision, that kind of timing. Rafael increases the pace. Queixada, an outside crescent kick, followed immediately by a martello, a roundhouse, then a bencao, a front push kick aimed at Bruce's chest. 3 techniques in 2 seconds, competition combinations, 62 fight-winning combinations. Bruce flows around them, under the crescent kick, outside the roundhouse. His body angles away from the push kick by 4 inches. Minimal movement, maximum efficiency. He doesn't retreat. He doesn't block. He evades, like smoke, like water finding the path of least resistance. The crowd is confused. Rafael is attacking beautifully. His capoeira is flawless, acrobatic, powerful, spectacular. But nothing is landing. The small man is simply not where the techniques arrive. He moves just enough, never more, never less. Rafael's breathing is faster now, not from exhaustion, from frustration. He has thrown 8 techniques, 8 of his best weapons. None have landed. None have come close after that first compass kick, and the small man hasn't thrown a single strike in return. "Is that all?" Bruce asks quietly. Only Rafael hears. Rafael's face darkens. His pride ignites. He drops low. Ao batido, a cartwheel kick variation. Acrobatic, unpredictable. His body inverts. His legs whip overhead. 2 kicks in one movement, one with each leg. The crowd roars. This is capoeira at its most spectacular. Athletic, artistic, dangerous. Bruce times it, reads the entry, sees the trajectory. As Rafael's body inverts, as his first leg whips down, Bruce steps in. Close range. Wing Chun range. Inside the arc of both kicks, where the acrobatic technique has 0 power. Rafael lands from the cartwheel and Bruce is there. Right there. 6 inches from his face. Rafael's eyes widen. For the first time in 62 fights, a flicker of something crosses his face. Not fear. Not yet. Surprise. Bruce's right hand fires. Ji Quan, a straight lead punch. Jeet Kune Do's most efficient weapon. The fist travels 11 inches. It stops 1 inch from Rafael's nose. 1 inch. Contact with the air, not the target. Bruce holds it there for 2 seconds. 2 full seconds. The message is delivered. That could have landed, would have landed, should have ended this. Rafael stumbles backward, resets. His ginga is less fluid now, less rhythmic. The music in his movement is gone, replaced by something harder, more desperate. He attacks again. Everything he has. Maya Lua Solta, a released half-moon kick. Chapa, a side kick. Galopante, an open palm strike. Cabacada, a headbutt attempt. He breaks every rule of capoeira's dance-like beauty. This isn't performance anymore. This is survival. Bruce moves through the onslaught the way a river moves through rocks, around, between, through. His hands redirect techniques with palm strikes and deflections so subtle the crowd can barely see them. Pak Sao, Lop Sao, Bong Sao. Wing Chun hand trapping applied to capoeira kicks and strikes with surgical precision. The audience is witnessing something they cannot fully comprehend. The 9 who know Bruce Lee are on their feet. Kenji Watanabe is whispering to himself in Japanese. Impossible. 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 The other 191 spectators are silent, staring, trying to understand how a man half the size of the fighter in front of him is making 62 consecutive victories look meaningless. 30 seconds have passed since the fight began. It feels like an hour. Rafael launches one final attack. Desperation made physical. A running martello rodado, a spinning wheel kick, the most powerful kick in all of capoeira. His entire 280 pounds rotating, his heel aimed at Bruce's temple. If this lands, it kills. There is no exaggeration in that statement. 280 pounds of spinning force aimed at the human skull. It kills. Bruce doesn't evade this one. He steps in, forward, toward the kick, inside the arc again. His left hand intercepts Rafael's thigh at the hip joint before full extension, before the kick generates its maximum force. A jum sao, a sinking block, applied at the fulcrum point of the kick. The force is redirected, neutralized. 1,800 pounds of potential force becomes nothing. In the same motion, Bruce's right hand shoots forward, 4 fingertips extended. Bug, the thrusting fingers strike. Wing Chun's most dangerous technique. The fingers stop at Rafael's throat, touching the skin, not pressing, not striking, touching, the lightest possible contact, a whisper of force. But the message is a scream. 1 more inch of pressure and Rafael's trachea is compromised. 1 more inch and he cannot breathe. 1 more inch and the fight, and possibly his career, and possibly his life, is over. Bruce holds the position. 3 seconds. 4. 5. The warehouse is silent. 200 people. Not a whisper. Not a breath. The berimbau has stopped. The drums are silent. Even the fans on the ceiling seem to have paused. 5 seconds of absolute silence. 5 seconds for everyone to see. 5 seconds for the lesson to register. Bruce withdraws his hand, steps back, gives Rafael space. Rafael stands there. 280 pounds of the most dangerous capoeira fighter in South America, breathing hard, sweating. His hands are shaking, not from exhaustion, from the realization of what just happened, from the understanding that for 5 seconds his life was in the hands of a man he called a movie actor, a man he called a pretend fighter, a man who weighs 140 pounds. The silence breaks. The crowd erupts, not cheering, not applause, something deeper, amazement, shock, the sound of 200 people trying to process the impossible. Some are shouting, some are laughing, some are just standing with their mouths open. Rafael drops his head, his shoulders sag. 62 fights, 62 victories, and now this. Not a loss, technically. No one was knocked out, no one tapped. But everyone in that warehouse knows what they saw. Everyone knows who won. Everyone knows that capoeira, at its absolute best, performed by its most dangerous practitioner, could not touch a 140-pound man in street clothes. Rafael walks to Bruce, slowly. The crowd quiets. They sense something important is about to happen. Rafael extends his hand. Bruce takes it. "I have never," Rafael says. His voice is raw, honest, stripped of arrogance. "In 62 fights, 19 years. I have never felt anything like that. I could not touch you. I could not read you. You were not where my techniques went." "How?" Bruce speaks. His Portuguese is limited, so he switches to English. Kenji Watanabe moves close to translate. "Your capoeira is beautiful, powerful, the most athletic martial art I have ever seen. Your kicks generate more force than any fighter I have faced. You are a master, a true master." Rafael shakes his head. "I couldn't touch you, because you fight the art. You fight capoeira. You follow the ginga, the rhythm, the patterns. Your body knows the sequences, but patterns can be read. Rhythm can be broken. If I can hear the music your body plays, I can step between the notes." Rafael stares. This is the deepest anyone has ever spoken to him about fighting, about his art. Bruce continues, "Don't abandon capoeira. It's magnificent. But expand it. Take what works. Discard what doesn't. Add what is specifically your own. Don't be a prisoner of style. Be free. Be like water." Be like water? Water has no shape. Pour it into a cup, it becomes the cup. Pour it into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. Water can flow, or it can crash. Be formless, shapeless. When your opponent expects the ginga, don't ginga. When they expect the kick, don't kick. Be what the moment requires, not what the art demands. The warehouse is quiet again. 200 people listening to a small man teach a giant. The arrogance is gone from this room, replaced by something better. Humility, curiosity, the desire to understand. Rafael reaches behind his neck. He unties a cord. On it hangs a small bronze berimbau charm, a symbol of capoeira mastery, given to him by his mestre when he was 18 years old. He holds it out to Bruce. In capoeira, when a fighter earns your deepest respect, you give a piece of the art. This berimbau has been with me for 13 years. It should be with you now. Bruce takes the charm, studies it, nods. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out a small wooden ring, a Wing Chun training tool, worn smooth from years of use. He places it in Rafael's palm. In Wing Chun, the wooden ring teaches center line, focus, Economy of motion. Everything I showed you tonight lives in this ring. Use it. Learn from it. They bow to each other. Not the formal bow of competition, the deep bow of two warriors who have found respect through combat. The 9 people who knew who Bruce Lee was. They told everyone what they witnessed. Word spread. From the warehouse to the gyms, from the gyms to the dojos, from the dojos to the magazines. The story was told, retold, debated, dismissed, and told again. Nobody filmed it. Nobody had cameras in an underground fight warehouse in 1971 Rio. But 200 people saw it. 200 witnesses who would spend the rest of their lives trying to explain what a 140-pound man did to the most dangerous fighter in Brazil. Rafael, a Cobra Mendes, retired from underground fighting in 1973. His record stood at 62-0-0, with one unofficial demonstration loss that he never counted as a loss. He called it the night I became a student again. He opened a school in Salvador teaching a hybrid system. Capoeira foundation with elements of Wing Chun and Jeet Kune Do principles woven through. He taught his students about rhythm, about flow, about being water. He wore the wooden ring on a cord around his neck for the rest of his career. Bruce Lee rarely discussed the Rio match publicly. Those close to him said he always remembered it, always spoke of Rafael with respect. The most athletic fighter I ever faced, he told Dan Inosanto. The most beautiful art. If he ever learns to fight without the rhythm, without the pattern, he will be unstoppable. Bruce kept the bronze berimbau charm. Linda Lee found it among his possessions after his passing in 1973. She never knew its full story, only that Bruce had traveled to Brazil once, briefly, and come back quieter than usual. 200 witnesses, 9 who knew, 1 who learned that power means nothing without adaptability, and 1 who taught that the greatest opponent is the one you dismiss. November 14, 1971. A warehouse in Rio de Janeiro. The night Capoeira met its match. The night a cobra bowed to a dragon. The night Bruce Lee proved once again that water is stronger than stone.